Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Have you wondered what is the most popular Hearthstone game mode or how popular the various Hearthstone game modes are? If you have, Firestone released some data today. Firestone is a deck tracker for Hearthstone, so it's one of the software programs that are helping Hearthstone players keep track of cards. The main competitor is the Hearthstone deck tracker. Firestone typically has been the less popular choice of the two, although it has improved its popularity a lot over the past year or two, and that's actually one of the things that can be seen in this chart. Hearthstone is not getting that much more popular, rather people are installing Firestone more. Alright, so this data from a single deck tracker. Well, is there some specific group of people who play with Firestone more than they play with other things? I compared this data to data from Hearthstone Deck Tracker as for Battlegrounds and for Standard format. And for Battlegrounds and Standard format, the data is very similar. I can't really see any sort of bias. I don't have any data from Duels or from Arena, so I don't know if there's bias to or against those in this piece of data. Anyway, what can we tell about Hearthstone players in 2022 based on all of this information that we have here? First of all, as I mentioned, Firestone has been becoming more popular, so the graphs are going up, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the player numbers are going up. They haven't released the exact numbers of people who are installing and who are using Firestone, so we do not know how much of this can be explained by that. That's a bit of a mystery. Another thing is that expansions do matter. The two highest lines, the one on Battlegrounds on orange and the one for ranked standard in light blue, when there is a X.2 patch, which are the Battlegrounds patches, Battlegrounds always peaks in popularity. And when there is an X.0 patch, when there is a new Hearthstone expansion, ranked standard just shoots up in popularity. So pretty predictable effects. As for their relative popularity, we're now living in this interesting era where Standard Hearthstone becomes the most popular format of the game. Whenever there's a new expansion, then interest starts to wane, then there's going to be a big Battlegrounds patch, Battlegrounds overtakes Standard again, then interest in that starts to wane, and they take turns leading Hearthstone, and they are clearly the two most popular game modes. But what about other game modes? People are still playing stuff like Arena, people are still playing Duels, and those also somewhat fluctuate with expansions, especially March of the Lich King, which did attract people to Hearthstone because of the new class. Popularity of pretty much all game modes just shot up instantly. And as for Arena, yeah, well, that night in Arena, it's fun for a time, but maybe not for that long. Also another interesting piece, Ranked Wild, just slowly growing up over there, especially in comparison with the others, because remember, Firestone is becoming more popular, which means that all the graphs are going up at least somewhat, but Ranked Wild is going up more than the others, and Ranked Wild, the wild player base, just slowly establishing itself. And then obviously, Hearthstone Mercenaries. What can I say about Hearthstone Mercenaries? Well, you can see the violet line at the bottom, that's Mercenaries PvP. It has not been a thing. Nope. And then there is the red line, which is Mercenaries PvE. And Mercenaries PvE, it's hard to see from this graph, but if you take a closer look at all of these peaks, and when they happen, then Mercenaries PvE is peaking every time there is a new event. The events are basically carrying Mercenaries PvE. Even the return of the Rattlegore event, okay, maybe also March of the Lich King, caused a bit of a peak there in early December. But other than that, it is pretty grim tale for Mercenaries, I have to admit. And basically, Mercenaries right now is those events. And we have been getting fewer events, so Mercenaries is not exactly thriving. But the main battle of the most popular Hearthstone game mode, that is being fought between Standard and Battlegrounds. And it's to be expected that now the next patch, another X.2 patch, should be another big Battlegrounds patch. So Battlegrounds should get a lot of fresh air out of that one. A lot of players playing that. And then Standard mode, Rumble is still doing okay for now, and then getting ready for the rotation expansion, the first expansion of the year, which should be a pretty big deal. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.